Hi there, this is Peter Van. I wanted to demonstrate to you my probably a Kawai guitar from the 60s, early 70s, which actually has no brand. There's actually nothing on there, nothing on the headstock, nothing on the backside of the headstock. The only thing that's there is that there is a made in Japan plate on the back. That's about it. But I've been looking online and apparently these guitars were sold by Woolworth in the UK and Hertie in Germany. So this really is, you know, a guitar that was sold by department stores in Europe, possibly elsewhere as well. And apparently these have been made by Teisco or by Kawai. Now, it was a really cheap guitar then. It's a really cheap guitar now. It weighs almost nothing. And I can tell you, I've opened this one up. It's made from plywood, or the body has been made from plywood anyway. And still, you know, it sounds kind of nice. It's got this sort of real old-fashioned Dan Electro sort of thin, you know, country-ish kind of style of sound. And the bridge pickup is actually the nicest. These are kind of the standard sort of pickups that they use in Japan with Kawai at the time. Now that's actually, the sound is actually quite nice. The tremolo, as simple as it is actually quite a nice, simplified tremolo. The bridge is okay. Well, actually, it's kind of hard to intonate it totally. It's not intonating completely as I wanted it to be, but you know, that's not too bad for a guitar that's possibly 50 years old or something. What I don't like about the guitar is the tuners. You know, this is the standard fare from those kind of Japanese guitars at the time. They're very stiff. They don't really tune very well. You have to retune them every 10 minutes or so. And that's not too good. That has to be changed in order if you wanted to make it a real player guitar. What I didn't like about it, what I got it, was that the neck was actually in a very strange position. The action was incredibly high. You couldn't really do much about it. So I opened it up. It turned out that somebody before me had put a shim at the neck made from paper, which is kind of shitty, I guess. So I did a shim in there. I don't know if you can see it. There's some wood between the neck and the body, and it's actually much better now action wise. Still not perfect, but it's doing better. Still the guitar needs some work to be done, and it's kind of this project of mine that I want to do. So which is, as I said, the neck is actually the sound is pretty good. The neck itself, it feels very nice, very smooth over here. It seems like one piece of wood, so that's good. But you know, some of the frets are pretty uneven. You know, here it's fine, it's not good, fine again, fine, not good, fine again, not good, fine again, and so on. So some of these frets have to be polished or worked on anyway to get it back into action. But you know, I'm planning to get back to you when I've got everything fixed on this guitar, and hopefully it's a bit more of a player then. Speak to you then. So I removed the neck, and well, one thing is for sure, it's plywood body. Okay, well, that's not really a surprise. So I did take the old tuners off and I put new ones on here, so it doesn't look too bad. I also removed the piece of wood that were the shim in between there. I'm going to see how it holds up without a shim altogether. Well, to be continued. It's a bit later again, a few weeks later, and here I am again with the pride of the 60s department store, the Kawai something audition something Teisco made guitar. I installed new tuners on there which are still available actually, and that makes quite a difference because these tuners are a bit more stable than the old ones. Slightly less stiff, still stiff, but less so. I also worked on some of the frets, which means that the frets are smoother and there is no more buzzing or less buzzing. I also fixed this small thing here on the nut because the E string was buzzing and it's no longer. So altogether it sounds pretty good. It handles pretty well. You can actually play this guitar for real. Now, honestly, if this was my only guitar, I would be quite unhappy, I think. This is not something that you want if you're just starting out with guitar. You'd have loads of other guitars that you'd rather have than this one. But you know, typically vintage feel, typical sound, different from anything else. That's definitely what this guitar has. Some people would call it mojo. Okay, whatever you want to call it, it's something else. And it sounds pretty good for some stuff that you want to play. I'm getting quite attached to this. My favorite position here is the bridge pickup, which is the most nasty sort of stuff. I mean, if you play these sort of rockabilly licks like a... That sounds pretty good. The neck pickup is a bit more woolly, so... too bad, but it's a bit less, it's got a bit less aggressiveness, so I kind of like it. And well, you know, altogether it's a pretty good guitar now, and you can play it clean, and it's got this nice sound, and distorted it sounds pretty good as well. Listen to this. It's a pretty good playable guitar. I kind of like having this sort of old-fashioned thing that nobody else has. It's still really light, very light. It's a nice guitar. I'm enjoying this. Thanks a lot. Speak to you. Bye-bye.